Please be ready for a dictation of transcription number 281 from Sir Kailash Chandra magazine. 5 seconds. Start. I shall briefly explain the genesis of this bill. It was in 1998 that the local self-government ministers' conference passed a resolution recommending that the central government should, in consultation with the state governments concerned, appoint a committee to examine the question of delimiting the cantonments. As a result of that, in 1999, a committee was appointed, presided over by Shri S.K. Patil, to go into this question. The committee submitted its report in November 2001 and made certain recommendations to the government which were duly considered. The opinions received generally favored the bill. The select committee suggested 2 minor amendments and the bill was passed by the Council of States as it was reported by the select committee. The House will thus see that the bill comes to it not only with the stamp of public approval, but also with the seal and sanction of a representative assembly. Admittedly, the bill does not solve cantonment problems. It carries out only certain amendments of a minor character with a view to improving the mechanism of the Act. The opposition to the bill has come not in regard to the actual provisions, but in regard to its scope, and it has been said that the bill does not go far enough to meet the problem of democratization. The main objection to the bill is that it does not provide for democratization and that it does not vest full municipal government in the cantonment boards. On the question of democratization, the local self-government ministers' conference in 1998 clearly recognized that for reasons connected with security and the health of the troops, the areas where troops were quartered should be under the general control of the army authorities. The Patil committee, too, was of the view that cantonments were military stations primarily and not civil towns, and the cantonments should in fact maintain, as far as possible in the foreseeable future, their original characteristic of military stations, considering all the circumstances associated with the present state of the country in its political, economic, and public health aspects. It is also significant that the Patil committee particularly noted that even amongst the civilian population of the cantonments, there are substantial elements, often in a majority, who are apprehensive of the consequences of their transfer. I have explained the policy of the government regarding democratization in the Council of States in detail, and I should not like to weary this House by repeating the same. But I should like to mention just a few things briefly. I am quite sure that we do not intend to entangle the army with the competition and controversies which are inevitable in a normal civil life. The army must be above these. And one of the justifications and great justifications of the present constitution of the cantonment boards with their official majority is that in areas in which the predominant interests are of the army and the military population, we should avoid giving these boards a constitution which would either mean the virtual disenfranchisement of the military population or that the special interests of the army in these areas would be entrusted to those who do not know much about the army. In fact, one of the beneficent results which I see flowing from the system that prevails today is that the hierarchy of the army and the representatives of the civil population in the area are brought together to serve a common purpose, namely the administration of the area in the best interests alike of the armed forces and the civil population inhabiting the area. I do not see why honorable members should visualize any inherent conflict of interests in these matters merely because the official or military elements would be in a majority. In fact, a conflict of interests is more likely to arise if that section of the population which has a smaller sphere of interest is given an overweighted majority. Nor do I see why honorable members should necessarily assume that the administration of the cantonment boards would be undemocratic or not sufficiently watchful of popular interests. I am entitled to ask them if they are right in assuming that with popular representatives in this house and popular representatives in the government, a disregard for democratic procedure and responsibility would in any way be possible in the administration of these bodies. In the ultimate analysis, the administration of a country is carried on by individuals. What is material is the ultimate responsibility of these individuals who were responsible to an autocratic power. Time now is when they are responsible to the elected representatives of the people. I should like my honorable friends to consider carefully an answer to this question. Stop.